everybody, this is Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. It's a 2,500 point battle. Me, Lord Tremendous, Wars of Chaos, versus Dark Has-Been, the new Dark Elf list. This is a rematch from the previous battle report, number 29, I believe. Yep. And, yeah. Without further ado, this is my army list, same as always. I've got my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous. He's got the Mark Zinch. She's a level 4 wizard, Chaos Armor with Wings, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, Other Trickster Shard, Soul Feeder, Demon Blade, Scaled Skin, and Lore of Metal. My hero choices are my Exalted Hero, Tardum, the Herald of Zinch. He's got the Mark Zinch. He's my BSB. He's got a great weapon on top of a demonic mount that's barded. He uses the Talisman of Preservation, Poisonous Slime, and a Third Eye of Zinch. Last but not least is my Chaos Sorcerer, Ashicus the Muse. He is Mark Slaanesh and a level 2 wizard. He's on a Steed of Slaanesh, the Slickness. He's got an Enchanted Shield, the Skull of Catan, a Luckstone, the Ruby Ring of Ruin, and he uses the Lore of Slaanesh. My core choices are my Brick of 24 Chaos Warriors with Mark of Zinch, Full Command, Hand Weapon Shield, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. I've got my throwaway unit of 5 Chaos Warhounds with poison attacks. I've got 2 Chariots, 1 Mark Zinch, and 1 Mark Slaanesh, and of course, the Slaaneshi one is Orcish Elegance. My special choices are my 3 Trolls, Ooga Booga Booga, with extra hand weapons. I have a unit of 5 Hellstriders, the Pleasure Riders, with Spears, Shields, Banner, and Musician, and my Chimera, the aptly named Trifection. That's right, Triple Perfection, with poison and regen, because let's face it, that's awesome. So, yep, thank you for everybody to put in your names and stuff in the last battle report. I went through them all, and I decided on Trifection, and in the next, not maybe the next battle report, but maybe a couple after that, once my wife gets a chance, she'll paint Trifection across the Chimera somewhere, and I'll get a picture up there. It'll probably be the intro or something like that. But thanks for everybody who joined in. If I didn't choose your name, I apologize. I believe it was the Lone Wolf that whose name I ended up choosing, but I will give all proper credits and pictures and everything like that, and a few army or battle reports. So yeah, thank you, and everybody, please welcome the new Chimera, Trifection. And of course, last but not least, my Mutalith Vortex. All that is man. My opponent's list, and this is from memory. He had a Dreadlord on a Cold One, who was his general. He had a great weapon, a Sea Dragon Cloak, a Dawnstone, the Other Trickster Shard, and I think he had a magic weapon, maybe the Might, Sword of Might. I can't remember off the top of my head. Kind of a lot's happened. So, yeah. Buddy, if you read this, or if you're watching this and you throw it in the comment section, everybody will be grateful. And if not, well, you're still a bad person, so we've accepted that. He had another lower level character, the Supreme Sorceress. She was a level 4 wizard with the Sacrificial Dagger, Talisman of Preservation, and the Lore's Shadow. I believe that's all she had. Almost positive. He also, for his hero choices, he had his Death Hag on a Cauldron of Blood. That was his BSB, and she had Witchbane. And in his core, he had a unit of 20 Corsairs with full command. They had the Repeater, Handbows, and the Banner of Eternal Flame. Sneaky, sneaky. He had a unit of 31 Witch Elves with full command and the Razor Standard. And a unit of 10 Dreadblades with Musician. And they were the sacrificial lambs for that sacrificial dagger. So, yeah, that's awesome that they can do that. I love that. His special choices were a Repeater Bolt Thrower, a War Hydra, butt naked, 9 Cold One Knights, full command with the Banner of Swiftness, and his rare choice was 2 Bloodwrack Medusas. I'm pretty sure that's it. If I'm wrong, well, feel free to sue me. You're not going to get much, but hey, go for it. Living the dream! These are my spells, 4 from Metal, 2 from Slaanesh, and 1 from the Ruby Ring of Ruin. His spells, 4 from the Lore of Shadow. He did get Mind Razors and all that stuff, but it doesn't really help him any. You'll see why later. Here's deployment. As you can see, a little bit weird deployment for him, in all fairness. It kind of confused me. He put his Cold Ones, his big old brick of Cold Ones with his general all the way over on his right flank with 2 Bloodwrack Medusas running interference. The He had a Hydra and a unit of and his Medusas, his Witch Elves with the Cauldron of Blood in the middle, which makes sense. Behind them were the Dreadblades or whatever. They were sitting back there with the Sacrificial Dagger wielding level 4 caster. He had his Corsairs on the hill right next to his Repeater Bolt Thrower. I threw my dogs over there on the left side to just interfere with the Medusas, try to cause a traffic jam basically with the Medusas and the cold ones and everything like that. And I put my Chimera over there because, hey, if he hits the dogs and overruns, the Chimera's got easy lunch. Meanwhile, the BSB and the Trolls and everything else just kind of make up my center. There was no real subtlety to this. And all the way over to the right, I believe my Hellstriders were trying to make their way up to go deal with either the Repeater Bolt Thrower or the Corsairs. I hadn't decided yet. Here's my opponent's right flank. There's his unit of Cold Ones with his General. He's the one with the shield over on our right of the unit there. Yes, he's got some proxies, but as you can see, he's really starting to put this list together quite nicely. He's got himself the 2 Bloodwrack Medusas right there. His center, the Troglodon, is a proxy model for his Hydra. He has not put that together yet, but I think we can forgive him for that. His unit of Witches right there in the middle with the Cauldron of Blood. The dice represent 13 more Witches back there. At $60 a box, I think we can forgive him for taking some time on trying to get his army together. I have no problem with it. Behind them are I think they're the Dreadblades with the Sorceress in there, the little metal model you can barely see. Sorry about that. And then here's his left flank, a unit of Corsairs with the the Repeater Handbows. The little dice that has a 5 on it represents 5 more models. Again, I think we can forgive him. And he's got one of those old school Reaper Bolt Throwers. How cool is that, huh? Here's my right flank with my Mutalith and my Hellstriders moving up to deal with some Toughness 3 stuff. Here's my center, Slanesh Chariot, Tzeentch Chariot, Chaos Warriors, my Demon Prince, and look at that great paint job. Thank you, wife. My BSB with his Trolls. And, of course, my left flank, Trifection, and the unit of Sacrificial Dogs. So yeah, here's top of turn 1. He got to go first. I've been rolling low for my going first rolls lately, and that's a thing I've got to change quick because I'm tired of going after. Being on the bottom of the turn is just not right for Chaos. But anyway, as you can see, he trundles forward with his Cold Ones. The Medusas come up, and everything else pretty much stays right where it's at. Coward Elves. Yeah, the reason that his Cold Ones trundled up as little as they did is because they were stupid! Yep, let that be a lesson to all you Cold One Knight users out there. Keep your BSB near, because those 11s are out there, and they'll get you. His magic phase, his magic phases were terrible this game. In this round, he rolled like a 3 for his magic phase. He failed to channel, and I have the Skull of Catan, so I was able to have more Dispel dice, and he had Power dice, and it was level 4 to level 4. I win, no magic. So here are my Hellstriders during the second, Elven magic phase, where they get to shoot at you. They took out a Hellstrider, which hurt. But that was really about it. So we went to bottom 1 after movement, and I passed my stupidity check, haha. And my dogs run up to get into that traffic jam zone. The Chimera lines up to get a beautiful charge at whatever's stupid enough to go after the dogs. My Demon Prince, not really caring about anything, comes right up to the edge of the forest and begs something to charge him. The Trolls and my BSB move up, along with the Warriors and the Chariots, to get a better shot at the Witch Elves. And, of course, the Hellstriders run up to the side there to get a charge next turn, with the Mutalith diving into the forest for the soft cover save and to get in range for his spell. So we go into Magic, and he lets the spell go off from the Mutalith onto his Corsairs. I think he loses 2, maybe 3 guys. I don't remember how many from the toughness checks. And I end up lowering his, the transformation spell, the one where you, Baneful Transmogrification or whatever, where you end up doing +1 stat, -1 stat. Well, I lowered their ballistic skill by 1, which was huge because the Corsairs were a shooting unit, but I gave them +1 attack. So, whoops. But it is what it is. What can you do? Other than that, Magic was uneventful and shooting doesn't exist because I play a real man's army. So we go to top of 2. And as you can see, not a whole lot on his end. He moves up his Corsairs a tiny, tiny bit, and that's really it. The Hydra turns to accept the Demon Prince's charge. The Cold One Knights turn around to do whatever they can. And his one Medusa charges into the dogs, which was fine. I'll take that. Here's a better picture of the Medusa looking for some dog statues. It's weird the way they shop. It really is. During his magic phase, he rolls another 3 for his magic phase, and he rolls Malikos Mystifying Miasma on my Slanesh chariot, and I really didn't care about it, so I let it go off so I could stop anything else he tried to cast. And it worked out. He ended up only lowering their stats by 1. It really wasn't a big deal. During his shooting phase, however, they take careful aim. The Reaper Bolt Thrower takes careful aim to Hellstriders again and kills 3 more! So now they're on my death list. They were already, but now I'm really wanting them dead. Over here, the Medusa shows her ugly face to the Chimera, whose initiative is I can't turn away. He's got 3 faces. He's not going to be able to turn away all of them like that. You know, only 1, 2 necks. It's a little rough. So he takes a couple of wounds. Poor Trifection. Had to look at the ugly thing. My Chimera gets the bum rap sometimes. During combat, his Medusa only kills 3 dogs. I do nothing back. I lose by like 4. They need snakes. I do not roll snakes. And they flee, but they get away. That's right, 35 points cheated. So I have a chance to get it back at least, which is kind of exciting. So we go to bottom of 2 after movement. And I go in, because that's what I do. The Demon Prince charges the Hydra, the Chariot and the Mutilith charge the Corsairs. Only the Chariot makes it, and the Chimera goes after the Medusa that's trying to kill my dogs, because that's rude. Over here, there's a better picture of the Chimera snapping into the Medusa. He's had just about enough of her garbage. During my phase, my dogs actually rallied, if you can believe it. I rolled a 3. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. The dogs rallied. So there's 35 points cheated from my Dark Elf opponent. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, there's a picture of, man, that Mutilith, he should have made it, huh? But he didn't. He lets the Chariot go in all by his lonesome. So, yeah, I was not feeling as confident about this one any longer. And then, of course, oh yeah, the Hellstriders and my Hellstrider and Ashigus go into the Reaper Bolt Thrower because it's time for it to stop shooting at me. And, of course, the Demon Prince goes back into the Hydra to do what he does best, and that's kill other monsters. Well, basically kill anything. So, yeah. Magic is a wash. It doesn't really do anything, so we go into combat, and yeah, the Chimera just monkey stomps the hell out of her. It was awesome. Then he turns around to get another one. Over here, my Demon Prince takes 4 pounds of flesh. That's 4 wounds. Off of the War Hydra. The War Hydra fails to do anything back, loses by 5, does not make his break test, and gets run the F down. I finish him off because Hydras belong in the dirt. So yes, there was much rejoicing there. Well, on my side of the table. On his side of the table, I think I made the top of the lipstick list again. So it is what it is. Over here, the Hellstrider gets killed, and Ashikus is able to kill 1 of the Elves, and they make their break test and stay. So that was a little discouraging. Charge, and a wound to a wound. I win by 1, makes his break test, and sticks around. So it's like, huh, it's a tough little elf. Over here, my Chariot actually does pretty good. He takes a couple of wounds for his trouble, because, yeah, but he ends up doing enough. I think he kills 4 or 5, I can't remember. He kills enough, but they're steadfast and they stick around. So we go into top of 3 after movement, and his Cold One Knights charge through the forest and slam into my trolls with my BSB. He ends up losing 1 of his rank and file and his unit champion. They fail their dangerous terrain and die. Sneaky trees. Sneaky, sneaky. His Bloodrack Medusa also charges into the trolls with the BSB. His Witch Elves move up. They don't charge, they just move right up into my face, giving me no choice but to charge them with my Chariot and my Warriors next turn. And his Bleak Swords with his Sorcerer move up in the better position to cast spells and stuff like that. So his magic, once again, he rolls Snake Eyes for his magic phase and gets nothing. Yeah, nothing goes off. And he yeah, it doesn't really do anything. So we go into combat, and yeah, as you can see here, the Medusa and the Cold One slam into my trolls with the BSB, and I'm a little nervous because it starts to occur to me at this point that probably not the best choice for things to be in combat with me. So we go through the combat, and he kills two trolls. My BSB and his Dreadlord, are going to a challenge. The BSB and the Dreadlord exchange a wound, and the trolls, though, have finally pissed me off. They take 6 wounds. 2 die. The other one attacks back. I kill one of his with the troll because I just attacked. I didn't puke because it just, whatever. And I kill one of the stupid knights. So he wins by like 8, 6, 8, 12, 52. I roll, I don't get snakes, the BSB dies, and while his cold ones don't pursue, the Medusa has to and runs down the troll no problem. And this picture right here shows you why the trolls are going to go ahead and start collecting dust on a shelf now. I liked them at first, and I've lost interest and faith in them rather quickly. So the hell with them. And yeah, they're going to go back on the shelf until I figure out what to do with them. Probably melt them down for scrap. Scumbag elves, get my BSB killed. So we go, there's where he ends up, is Medusa obviously overran and caught the last troll, and the other cold ones, they reform in place and get ready to charge either the flank of my warriors or whatever is available after my next turn. It was a smart move, actually. And at this point, I'm also very pissed off at my trolls, so I'm not thinking straight. To further frustrate me, the elf, not only does he withstand all the attacks from my level 2 sorcerer because I couldn't wound. I hit him once, couldn't wound, and then the Hellstrider itself, the mount actually hits him, but fails to wound. So yeah, he is the toughest elf in the world. And we end up stalemated. Nobody did any wounds to anybody, and yeah, we just kind of look at each other like, huh. So then we go into this other combat that goes his way. I killed 2 of his guys. I do. I killed 2 of his guys, but he's got a rank and a banner. He does no wounds to me. He's got a rank and a banner, so it's like, oh, we're tied. He has a musician. Some elf dropped the bass, and my Slanesh chariot goes, ah, too much techno, and flees. Thank God he got away, but yeah, he flees. The Mutolith makes his panic check, thank God, so it's looking good for him. But all is not roses in top of 3. Not for Warriors of Chaos, anyway. So we go to bottom of 3. And I get desperate, because that's what I do in these situations. I get angry, and I just charge. The Chimera was within range, so I charged the Chimera into the rear of the Cold One Knights. I needed a 9, and I rolled a 10. So he made it. The Warriors in the Chariot, not seeing any other choice, charged the Witch Elves. And the Mutolith charges the Corsairs, who shoot at him a little bit. And that's when I found out he had the Banner of Eternal Flame. That sucked. And yeah, the Demon Prince comes around to breathe down the necks of the Bleak Swords and the level 4 Sorcerer. So there's a better picture of Trifection going after some cold ones. Here's a picture of the Mutolith going after some Corsair ones. And, of course, my warriors and my chariot slamming into the ladies, because I will hit a girl in the face. I don't even care. I don't even care. I will punch her right in the mouth. So, magic is kind of a bust. Nothing really happens. I fail to cast my spells, and nothing else of important happens. So, we go into combat, and Trifection weathers the Dreadlord's attacks and the 3 riders, plus their cold ones. Kills like 3 or 4 of them. I win combat by a boatload, but he rolls snake eyes for his break test and stays. But yeah, I took 1 wound on the Chimera, who was already sitting on 2 wounds. Only 1 got through, and he massacres the unit and is still there. And they do not turn to face him. So how awesome is Trifection? Living up to his name. What a legend. Over here, the Mutolith, balks, has gas, gets a hiccup, the winds of magic shift. I don't know what happens, but I kill like 1 or 2 of his Corsairs, maybe. He puts 2 wounds onto me. I lose combat by 2. It's insane. I lose combat, And luckily I make it on a 6, but it's like, oh my god, Beast, don't let me down, buddy. Don't let me down. So we go over into this combat. And the Witch Elves, so many attacks, so many attacks. He did like 15 wounds to everybody, and I make a zillion saves. Not that it was overly hard, I had a 4-up, 5-up, but yeah, I end up losing 3 warriors, and I get 1 wound put onto the chariot. Meanwhile, I do 10 wounds back to him or something like that combined. It was elegant. I end up knocking him out of steadfast by 1 wound. He has 4 in that back rank. He just needed to save 1 more, and he didn't. So he loses by 4. He needs a 6 or a 7, a 6 or a 5 or a 6 to stay. I can't remember which. But he doesn't make it. And they flee. And I run those bastards down. The Witch Elves are thwarted once again by all that is awesome. And I overrun so completely that both the chariot and the warriors slam into his stunned sorceress's unit with the bleak swords that are not too loyal to her right now because of all the sacrifices she's been making. So, yep, there's a picture of where they ended up, and it's like, oh, hi, I'm going to punch you in the mouth now because we enjoyed it so much when we hit the ladies that we're going to try it on the other ladies. Oh, they're elves. It's hard to tell the difference. Yeah, in your face, elf players. What? So then combat over here, Ashicus finally punches the little dark Reaper bow thrower's face in, and he dies. Yeah, finally, thank God. And Ashicus turns around and goes, where next can I try to beat things up? So we go to top of 4. And yeah, there is a lack of elf on the table, to say the least. Nothing happens in the movement phase. The Bloodrack Medusa kind of moves up to look at the Chimera to try to maybe bail out the cold ones. And that's about it. Everybody else is either dead or in combat, which is just the way I like it. So we go into combat, because his magic phase, I think he rolled like a 4, and nothing of any significance happened whatsoever. So we go into combat, and once again, Trifection, he does end up dying, as you can see in this picture here. He's laid down. But he weathers the Dreadlord's attacks, so I think he only hit once. He weathers the attacks from the 3 remaining Cold One Knights, and then he goes Simo with the Cold Ones. And it was a Cold One that put the final wound on Trifection and killed him. But Trifection gets his attacks back and was able to kill 2 more Knights before going down. That is awesome. I love my Chimera. I love Trifection. He truly is triple perfection. And I have no problem with it. He may have died, but he made that unit much more manageable. The Beast! The Beast! He returns to glory and smashes like 5 or 6 Corsairs, beats the tar out of them, doesn't take any wounds back. He actually acts like the Mutilate that I know and love. And then they break. They are steadfast, but they break, and the Mutilith runs him down. Got to love the Beast. So we go over here, and the warriors and the chariot easily take out the bleak swords. I think the sorceress was all that was left. I had the chariot pursue, and the warriors restrain. The warriors made their test. And the chariot ran down the sorceress. So, yep. That is the end of More Elves, and that is a happy ending right there, ladies and gentlemen. A very happy ending. So we go to bottom of 4, which is my turn! And since there's nothing left but a Medusa and some Cold Ones, my warriors charge into the Cold Ones. Everything else turns around to watch. As you can see, we are swarming towards the center. There's a better picture of the warriors slamming into the Cold Ones. I know we're not base to base, but physics wouldn't allow it. And so we go straight into combat because my magic phase was just, there was nothing I really wanted to cast. The Medusa was, armorless, so it really wouldn't have helped me with Laura Metal. And what's his face? Ashicus couldn't see her. So we go into combat, and the warriors take a wound, and they put a wound onto the final Cold One Knight, killing off that unit, leaving the general, the Dreadlord, all by his lonesome. And needless to say, he is not steadfast, so he breaks. But the son of a gun rolls boxcars for his brake test, runs through the forest, makes his dangerous terrain. My warriors go like 6 inches and stop outside the forest going, whoa, we ain't running that fast, boss. That ain't happening. This armor's heavy. Meanwhile, the Medusa, she turned out to be about 7 inches away, so it didn't matter. So, top of 5, the Dark Elf player's turn. The Medusa goes into the flank of the warriors, and why not, right? Maybe she could get lucky. And his Dreadlord rallies, and he rallies perfectly so that my Demon Prince can't see him, which is a shame. So, yeah, the warriors, they're a little confused why a Medusa's in their flank, but they know that the pointy end of their weapons go into the Medusa, and that's what they're hoping to do. So, we immediately go into combat because his shooting and magic is all dead. And now his Medusa's dead as well. Yeah, I didn't lose any wounds. I failed one initiative check, but he failed to wound because it's a strength 4 hit. And I lose nobody. He loses a Medusa. Life is good. And the warriors don't even shrug. They don't move. They're looking at the Dreadlord. That's who I want to kill. So we go to bottom of 5. And the warriors make good on their promise and charge into the forest to slam into the Dreadlord. And I know I'm in the forest, I know I don't get ranks, I know I'm not steadfast, but I'm not overly concerned about losing. But just in case I do, there's the Demon Prince and Ashikis and the Mutilith and the 2 chariots running up to really make sure this Dreadlord does not make it to the after party. There's a better picture of the warriors into the Dreadlord. Just to ensure that my warriors have a little bit of an edge over this Lord choice, I get Glittering Robes off on him for a 1-up, 5-up. And still, in combat, I completely and totally forget that I get my spell off, and I lose 2 warriors because I did it to myself. I forgot it was a 1-up instead of a, whatever it was, like a 5-up, 6-up. So, my bad. He gets 2 warriors killed. I do no wounds back to him, but charge banner to 2 wounds would be stalemated if I didn't have a musician. So taking a page out of the Corsair's playbook, my guy with a horn busts out a tune that just wrecks the Dreadlord. The Dreadlord immediately soils himself. The Cold One, overcome by the scent, flees, and then he goes 10 inches. But my warriors go 10 inches because, you know what, they're so tired of this guy running away from them that they actually motivated themselves, and they run him down, and the table is cleared of elves. So there it is. That's what the table looks like at the end of the game. My warriors are stomping the remains of the soiled Dreadlord into the ground because we believe in fertilization. And the rest of my army that survived is rejoicing. Banners, banners, banners. You need the banners. Look at these banners. I got more banners. I got a new picture. I got new banners. And he has a Facebook page now. And it's right there. Facebook.com/thebannerguy. I should have trademarked that name. Oh, all the profit. No, I'm kidding. He doesn't charge that much for banners. There's not going to be all that much profit, so he can keep it all. But look at these banners. Look at those banners. I got that new flaming one. I got that big one that says Lord Tremendous with the Demon Prince on it. That's going to be my BSB once my wife finishes painting the model. These banners could be a lot like your banners if you just contact this guy and get the ball rolling. Totally worth it. Totally something you should do. Totally yes. So there. Go do it or you're a fool. But yeah, it was a crushing victory for Lord Tremendous. That's me. I tabled him at bottom of 5. And you know what? I love my opponent. He's a great guy. He's a worthy opponent. But I get some weird, sick, deep-seated joy from killing any flavor of elf. Dark, high, wood, don't care. If it's an elf and I get to kill it, life is good. I hate elves. I'm racist against elves. Go ahead and call whatever 800 number you want. Racist against elves. I ended up losing my BSB, my trolls, those bastards, my Hellstriders, hey, elven shooting, and my Chimera. You know what though? The Chimera's loss was totally acceptable. He really made that game winnable. I love Trifection. I really do. The Dark Elves lost everyone because when I play Dark Elves, no one survives. If I can do it, sometimes they survive. That's a lie. But yes, I know I've already said it, but yeah, I love killing elves. Absolutely love it. I wish more people played elves so I had more opportunities to myrtleize them. The haughty, self-centered pieces of pointy-eared pukes. Or as the orcs and goblins say, pansies. I have to attribute a lot of this to my opponent's magic phases. They were awful. Round 1, he rolled a 3. Round 2, he rolled a 3. Round 3, he rolled a 2. Round 4, he rolled a 4, and then he was dead. Turn 5 and 6 never happened. But he was still dead. So yeah, he had no magic phase, and the Dark Elves kind of, they can really shine in their magic phase, and he didn't get that opportunity. He doesn't play a real man's army like Warriors of Chaos, where we are used to not having a phase. So, toughness 3, sissy pants. But anyway, I'm learning the new Dark Elves aren't immortal after all. They're good, but we can take them. So it was a good victory. It felt good. My opponent might not like me very much at the moment, but hopefully he gets over it and we can be buddies again. No, I'm kidding. He was cool about it. But yeah, that kind of a loss is always frustrating, so totally understandable. But it was still a good game. I enjoyed it. Obviously, I got to kill elves, and I think he enjoyed it too because it got him thinking about his list composition and stuff like that and how he runs them. But yeah, definitely looking forward to a rematch, and anytime I get to kill elves, it's going to be a good game. But yeah, that'll do it for this one, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it and making the battle report. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you. But yeah, thanks.